Hello, I'm Amit Karmi. I'm the co-founder and the CEO at Set. I am here in this beautiful weather in London to understand what the hell our mobile game studios are doing with this thing called AI. I am personally obsessed about discovering the unfiltered truth of what the OGs of the mobile games industries are thinking and doing with AI, and most importantly, what are their biggest secrets of success in this new era of intelligence. This is Unpredictable Hits, the show for marketing and UA people around the globe to stay sharp, climb higher, and most importantly, don't get left behind in this new era of AI. Let's go.
Hello, Zeynep.
Hello, Amit.
It's great to have you here.
Same.
We know each other for a pretty long time from the industry, and I must say that we are, first of all, super thankful to have you here in Unpredictable Hits, the new show.
Thank
And
you. I like the logo.
Yeah, the logo. Wow. Wait for your present. We can't tell you what it is yet. You have one of the most unique stories in the industry. Started as an entrepreneur in Turkey, your own brand agency, working with, I think, the biggest brand in the world. And now you are the queen of the creatives marketing and working at Zynga and leading there a lot of efforts for a pretty long time. I wanted maybe to start with you sharing your own personal story for all of us to know.
Thank you. I mean, queen. Wow, what a you
are a queen.
You are flattering me, but it's always good to hear like good things. I'll accept it. We'll try with grace. Yeah, I started very young. I was 23, 24 when we started. With my partner, our branding agency, and that's true that we instantly started to work with many big brands, from Apple to all retail clients. When I was walking on the high street, I was just like Tommy Hilfiger client, like Harvey Nichols client, and Accessorize, all the big brands, Coca-Cola, and lots of FMCG. We did shopper marketing as well, so data entered our lives because before, branding was a bit more like an exercise of what looks good or what feels good, then shopper marketing trained me to work with data, and then gaming happened, and that was like, I don't know, I think the crown of that put everything into perspective, let's say. Because we were just like, in gaming you start creating, and then you test, and then you see where it goes, and then you shape the creatives and the strategy towards what works, what makes meaning to the audience.
Yeah, the
basically.
feedback loop, I think, in the gaming industry for any type of data, whether you're in the game itself or in the marketing, is very fast. What learnings do you have from your time working as an entrepreneur and working with the biggest brands in the world that you can implement now in gaming?
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit coming from traditional marketing is just knowing consumer insights, understanding a creative is not only a hook to stop people, but to give like a message, to transmit your like values, as well as your threats of your product, and you need to make sure that this piece of content make people feel something, like it needs to address one bucket in your creative matrix. So you need to know your motivations, you need to know your emotions, and somehow the creative that you make needs to sit in one of these buckets. So otherwise it's just like a random content that will stop people, but it's not going to make the real impact.
Because the traditional marketing is you're thinking a lot about the audience. And
Yes.
I know gaming, because it's like I see it a lot like high frequency trading. It's so fast, the amount of data that you get, the money that you're putting, the money that you're getting, everything is insanely, really. It's very fast. And specifically in the processes of UA creatives, you see that people are stop thinking about the user at the end, just creating creatives. And kind of losing one of the biggest thing that we spoke about it before, authenticity. And what do you think maybe about authenticity in creatives? How do you stands out today?
Yeah, I mean, especially today, because now overnight we just opened our eyes to a world of abundance of content. Like through tools, AI, we can produce hundreds of version um, of the same creative. Basically, you can add like endless, infinite hooks to the same content. However, we need to think about like our own unique product and our own unique story, because otherwise, like, imagine in a world like, everybody can have the same teeth, same nose, same facelift, like, who will stand out, who will be the one that you want to really look at, so and will make a meaning for you. So in that sense, you need to really go. You can have a flexible, don't get me wrong, you can do benchmarking, you can have a flexible kind of bubble of your production. That is, I don't know, the percentage depends to your genre, depends to your game, depends how old your game is, like, you can decide on that. However, I think you need to invest in your core. And when I'm saying core, I mean your authentic concepts, your net new. And I think through these tools, there is an amazing opportunity in the market right now, because not everybody is spending, like, have the same production, money or budget. So through actually these tools, you can scale your authenticity. And that will be kind of like a breakthrough, in the market, like people who can just spend mostly on their own unique vision and concepts are going to be the one who are standing out from the crowd.
Wow, amazing! It's no, it's really, you see it also with the new games, that you see this kind of, I don't want to call it copycats, but you just see people that are scaling the same thing, and they're not focusing on what is the new core idea, what is the new core concept. It's relevant, of course, very, very to creative marketing, but also for all of the departments in game, which is very, very interesting. And while you have the need, even especially now, like to be more authentic, because you have more games, you have more ads out there,
Absolutely.
and you have more competition.
Yes.
How do you keep up with authenticity while the demand from the UA, the rising CPIs and everything, it's just a trend. How do you keep authenticity with high scale of production?
Exactly. So that's a bit of a chicken and egg, because obviously the algorithm, it's a lot and faster. We have a very, very, greedy algorithm these days. So we need to produce more. But also we need to make sure that the creatives are healthy on the both end of the funnel. So yes, you need scale, but also you need retention. And guess what helps with retention? Authenticity. And I'm not talking about like use your own gameplay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what's the story of your product? Like, why this world came to life at the very first place. And so it might be a narrative. It might be telling your own story, and try to make it scale in a way that it scales like any business as usual concept, right? Like how you can make sure that you're less attractive compared to a mini game, let's say, or a hook, or someone blowing a balloon, like, or a cat meowing, like how you are just going to tell a story when there's so many people who are just banging, and making lots of noise. It's just like you need to actually go and find what works for you on the UA side. And it might be a feature, it might be, I don't know, an asset, it might be a character, and then build up from there. Use the same principles that you are using for UA, but do it in a very different manner that is unique to you. So, and this is how you may also scale, because when you start these things, you see and also you test them. You need to test them fairly differently than your business as usual, because your business as usual might have a higher IPM or like even ROAS, but then these kind of like core concepts that are only belonging to you, they might have less of these metrics. You need to work on them. You need to train them in a way that you need to kind of reimagine them in a way that will also work as good as UA, like business as usual concepts that you are doing for UA. And they are part of that funnel moving
Wow.
forward.
It's amazing. Actually, you're speaking more about like testing theses and new approaches all of the time to see what is actually working in the UA. And what is very, very interesting that you're saying that basically how do you exploit each direction that you're testing? Like once you're testing a new approach, new narrative, new thesis, how do you do it the right way in order to see if it fits the BAU? Because one of the biggest issues is creative testing. We can speak about it in a sec, but you can have some conclusion either pretty fast or unfortunately, like after a long time, that not necessarily be true. Like you can say, okay, this concept is working, but you see after 3 months, you see this fatigue in the campaigns. Or you can say very, very fast because you have, A/B test, you can do stuff very, very fast. You can say, okay, this concept is not working for me. And if you're taking it to the core of it, you might think, okay, maybe if I will test this thesis in different visuals, maybe a bit different mechanic, I will exploit this narrative. So the question for you is, how do you test a new thesis, a new narrative from the UA side also?
Yeah. So we are not, to be fair, you need to treat them differently. That's the main thing. I don't know your testing methodology, whatever it is, just do it different than your business as usual. So because they are going to miserably fail. Also, you need to make sure to understand what's the in-game behavior of this of the audience who is coming from that creative. Like, because it might be compared to business as usual, again, like very low on the metrics, but then maybe you are getting a very good quality out of it. Like the audience who is coming from that creative, from that set of creatives, are very interested in spending time in your game, spending in your game, and like engaging more, having more sessions, maybe longer sessions, maybe. You need to understand how they behave in the game, and that will also give you lots of kind of clues about like, okay, we are on the right path, or we are just doing something completely out of our taste. And also, just like when you are doing these things, yes, there is a bit of a gut feeling because you need to start from somewhere, right? You need to start with a hypothesis. Try to make sure that they are based on previous learnings and data. Don't really come up with something completely out of the blue. Just like base your hypothesis or base your new projects like this, like on past learnings, because that will really save time for you without compromising innovation, though. Like, because these things never existed in your life. So also you need to give space a little bit to
yeah, this is the tension, I believe. Like,
yeah.
do you sometimes try to do stuff that are out of the blue in the games?
I think yes, but it all depends. For me, everything is doable as long as I'm a true believer of just like split your monthly sprint or quarterly, however you are doing it, in buckets. Like, make sure that, you know what, X%, I'll be very flexible. I'll do benchmarking. I'll learn from competition. I'll iterate on what worked on business as usual, and all this stuff. Like, but then an X% as well needs to stay for your core, your exploration, the things that you want to do, like out of the box, without any, like anybody asking anything to you, And I think when you have a track record of, like showing, continuous success, everybody is supportive of that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. To try those stuff after. It is like the tension when you say all of the time, I want to test like stuff from my past learnings and I want to utilize what I already know, compared to like, let's try completely new stuff that again might be a high hit. Usually they are, of course, not a hit. But sometimes you find this, I don't know, winning creative that is exploding the campaigns. And now for our next subject, it's maybe winning creative, hero creative. Every company calls it different.
Yeah.
We all know one thing, that creatives are significant and becoming even more and more significant part of a game company, not only on marketing, and their impact on the performance is insane. So what is your approach of how to find a new winning creative?
Yes, it can come from a couple of places. The first and the kind of shortest one is go to your heroes, and of course you will iterate them. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But also when you go to your best performer or hero, deconstruct it in his elements. Like maybe there is this, like ways on that, like creative, or this apple, let's say. You have that apple on that creative. Okay, apple. Let you just go down and deconstruct it in a way that, okay, you can go to Adam and Eve from that, like, so it's a very different way
Oh, I
of
love
working.
this.
Like you need to just deconstruct all the elements of that creative and reimagine it. This is how also you can beat the beast on the campaigns, because sometimes, we know how networks work, right? Like some creatives are becoming at the top of the
They're not going
like,
from
and they
there.
are not going from there. That really puts us in a difficult place sometimes, to just not being able to scale other creatives, putting too much eggs in the same basket. If the spend is getting higher and higher on one creative, I find it unhealthy. I want to kind of have a diversified portfolio of creative in one network, in campaigns, etc. So, and to be able to do that, you need to really kind of deconstruct that idea and come up with completely new concepts out of it, basically.
Wow. And you speak a lot about trends that are not necessarily in the gaming market, but how do you view the changing of the content world, including movies, series, global events? How do you view that in your creative marketing process today?
I see them temporary. So I think every product, traditional products, like traditional marketing is impacted by trends. Traditional marketing is impacted by, I don't know, Taylor Swift engaging, like,
Which is very exciting.
which is very exciting. I'm very happy for her. Yeah, she looked really happy. So that, what I'm trying to say, we shouldn't expect the world out of it, but we can react to it. We can react to it in a way that, I don't know, maybe it's an intro. It's a little kind of mention on your social, like it doesn't have to be a big thing. I consider them temporary.
Do you try to follow them on a consistent way in your current efforts?
Yes, yeah, we are reacting to them. But if you are going to do it, you need to do it fast.
Yeah, this
Otherwise,
is the main issue.
don't even. And consider them temporary. Don't invest too much time or energy to recreate something that will leave literally 2 weeks maximum.
Yeah, you will see the fatigue, and then you can put
Yeah,
a lot of effort.
Yeah, exactly. So it needs to be, for me, it's everything like, okay, how much effort, how much reward? Like you need to just make sure that, you need to understand what you expect from it.
It's very hard to do this effort versus impact in the creative marketing world, because the impact is basically unknown, because we don't know how the algorithm might react. We have this risk mitigation of, let's say that we are doing exploitation / iteration of a winning concept. So we might say the risk is lower, like the impact can be medium, I don't know, medium to high, but the risk is lower because
I wouldn't spend more than hours to iterate on something like that. That's how I'm going to put it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I want to stop for a second. And as you know, the name of the show is Unpredictable Hits, because we at SET, we know that you can't predict entertainment and success and fun. And it's an iterative process of innovating all of the time. part of it, we are celebrating hits that are in the market. One hit can be Zynga and all of the games that you're in charge of. But we wanted to provide you a special present of a hit series and a book, Game of Thrones. So I'm bringing it to you now.
Oh,
You need to give us a genuine reaction. But this is for Zeynep.
oh my goodness. What is this?
The queen of creatives.
Wow.
You are the queen of creative.
Oh my goodness.
It's for everyone at Zynga to see at your office and
Oh, that's so lovely. That's so lovely. Thank you so much. Sorry, I shouldn't look myself. I couldn't stop looking at it. Like, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. That's really. I think you know who will like this the most?
I know.
My son.
My son?
Yeah.
I think this is what everyone's saying in the podcast. Everyone's saying their children, always.
Of course. I mean, yeah, he will definitely love it. Thank you so much, and I liked it as well.
Okay, perfect.
And I think my husband needs to look at it every day.
Genius, perfect. And now we will play a little game. We have here a few cards that I don't know what the questions are, and you don't as well.
Okay.
You can pick one of them. You can read the question and then answer the question.
Okay, let's go.
Choose one.
Let's go. Okay. When was the moment in your career you felt most seen? The moment you knew I made it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
Then
a big one.
I have chills at the moment.
That's a big one. Yeah. I think, thankfully, it's in Zynga. So, which is very, very, I feel really good about it. So, because I'm an entrepreneur and I move fast, I care a lot as well, as this is my own business. And in a corporate world, I felt like I might not find the place for myself. However, Zynga showed me a completely different world. They let me be me, myself, and they're actually encouraging me to be like myself, and they are supporting me to do so. At the end of the month, they are paying me, so it's just it's incredible. So. And being an entrepreneur, you feel really, it's always dead and survive situation. You need to make sure that you need to think about your team. And I think Zynga let me be that entrepreneur in Zynga.
Wow.
And
this is a very strong.
That's the moment that I felt seen. And it's still going on, so that's why I'm really happy here.
Wow!
Yeah,
amazing! Wow!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We can
that
choose
was a great
another
question.
Wow! I don't know the question, but the people that are writing them are amazing.
Neither myself. I should check. Yeah. Okay. If you had to delete 90% of all advices you ever heard,
wow,
which 10% you would keep? Okay, that's a good one. I think I would keep the one that I would delete all the negative voices in in my head. Let's I'm not going to go from different people, and I will just keep the 10% that is you can do this, Zeynep. You are not an imposter. You know what you are doing. Because I think women, especially in the industry as well, they are struggling a lot with this. Because we are very perfectionist when it comes to, our standards. And, we are always expecting more from ourselves. So what I want to give to the audience who are listening, and to female leaders, creatives, whoever, that listen to your own voice. You can do this. Everything is doable, and actually, this industry opens lots of doors when you show up.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, this was amazing.
So I would not listen all the nonsense in my head, and I would keep the 10%, which is positive.
Wow, this is amazing.
Okay.
We
Do I
can.
continue or
You want one more? We can do one more. Actually,
I
they
don't
have
know.
great
I
questions.
quite like
Let's
this.
do one more. Let's do one
I
more.
quite like this. Let's see, magic of three,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. What's the hardest part of being you that people don't see on LinkedIn? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, okay, I'm an introvert.
Wow.
I know.
I
I
didn't
think
know
they
that.
came up with a new word, which is ultravert or something like that,
Mhm.
which is kind of in the middle.
Mhm.
Listen, don't quote me on that. I need to read that properly. But I'm an introvert. However, I act like and I show myself as an extrovert, and that's a lot of hustle, in
It's
between. And for people who are introvert, I think also one of the blockers is just like, oh, I can't lead because I'm an introvert, or oh, I can't talk publicly because I'm an introvert. I would, suggest them to just sit down and talk. Go there, go on that stage and talk, because literally you learn these things by doing, and then you understand that it's not the end of the world, and somehow it feels natural after a while. So I had a stage fear. I
think everyone has,
yeah,
you know.
and
Everyone has.
I just you just walk over them, and they are past in the
Oh, Zeynep, you are providing here super inspiring, really sentences. No, because
hopefully.
first of all, what you said about the female in the industry and the negative voices. It's not only, first of all, it's not relevant only for games. It's not relevant for marketing. It's not relevant only for creative marketing. It's for everyone out there, especially in this. It's tough
It is.
business. Everything is
It
tough.
is.
And what you said now, I remember myself when we started the company, and we were 23 years old. Now we're 26, but we were 23. And we needed money. Like, we had a dream,
Yeah.
and we needed money. And I remember myself that I don't know if I'm an intro or extrovert. I don't really know. I really love people, but it's not like I'm going on a stage and it's not natural to me, all of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Correct.
But I remember when I started to speak with investors, I would always mumble at the beginning. And the English, you try to do it with an accent. And then I said to myself, sorry for my language, but fuck it. I will just speak. I will just really say what I think, and someone will want to join this journey.
Yeah.
And I think this is the main take here, that you have your own journey and you should be yourself in this journey.
Absolutely.
And people that want to be part of your journey and that you want to them to participate as well will join. No matter who are you and what you are. Just do what you want to do, believe in that, and go forward, because actually everyone, and not everyone, but a lot of stuff, events, and people will try to take you backwards or to different directions that are, you don't feel them in your stomach. So super amazing. Let's speak about UA and
Yes.
creatives again.
Let's do that. And yeah, exactly. Like with creatives as well, you need to be authentic. That makes sure that they work. Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
One of the what we've seen set with a lot of companies that we work with is that you have a tension between the UA team and the creative team, because on one hand, the UA, you have the budget, you have the KPIs that you need to reach, you need to put this money in the network and see the results. They need content. They in cooperation with you regarding this content. Why do you think there is a tension, and how do you improve the relationship between UA and creative?
The answer is in your question. You said they have their KPIs and they have their money. There's one marketing team. So the KPIs are shared, the team is one, and there is not like UA and creative team. There is, and also just like also branding, like creative team is, I think, like in serving both parties, like brand and UA, and make sure that, everything makes sense 360. So, but for me, at least, this tension is non-existent, because I share the same KPIs as as UA team and brand team are sharing with stakeholders. I am there facing the stakeholders, talking about creative strategies. And when you are working like this, I don't think that there is tension. There is only teamwork that makes it a reality.
So it's like setting the same goals, being
Same
in the same
goals.
room,
being
How
in the
do you
same
maintain
room.
it really practically in the day-to-day? Like the
Day to day,
communication?
yeah, the communication. We have also we came up with some systems there. We have definitely weekly retainer weeklies and meetings like that. But also um we have visibility on these KPIs on also recurrent documents, and we are sitting down with product, talking together again on a very like high cadence, and also like the different part maybe from the rest of the industry, or maybe they are all also doing it like that. Artists, I call them creative strategists, also are aware of these metrics.
Wow.
So they know what we are trying to solve here, because an artist or a strategist is just like a problem solver. Creatives are solutions to problems. So if they don't know what we are trying to achieve, how they can come there, how we can meet there, like it will be always and the magic of goals is when you have one, you reach them. Like that's the magic of setting a goal. Like, so that's why we always set goals, we share these goals, and we are moving towards these together, hand in
It's
hand.
amazing.
Yeah.
You have, I don't know if you remember this, but when we first met in 2024, you said to me something that I still remember till now, that your vision, and I assume it's also Zynga's vision, but your leader vision is to build data-driven artists, and that you have it.
Yeah.
Like this is how you use the exact phrasing. And I want to speak a bit about that. How do
Mhm.
you create this data-driven artist when you have a very artistic people and creative people that are usually not connected to data? It's not natural to them to understand metrics because they understand the narrative, the
Yeah.
visuals, and etc.
Yeah,
So how do you
exactly.
do that?
Exactly. So what we are doing is we need a bit of translation there. So we are not showing the raw data to artists. We are really we have kind of liaison in between UA and creative. So they are stripping down the data and coming up with the insights, what works, what doesn't work, and so forth. And then this is shared with artists. But they also know the average IPM
Mm,
on each campaign, etc., etc. So they know the test results. They know they have access to these things. But we are also providing an extra layer of information that for some of them who are very interested, maybe they live, in data. And for some of them who are less interested, they still have the right information to act on. So and we share the goals, very openly during monthlies with artists, so they have access to that, and they can see. Also, we are very like team focused, so we have never individual kind of responsibilities when it comes to like goals and KPIs. It's always team going forward for achieving these.
no, amazing. I have a question regarding today, as you know, content in general, but if we're taking it to our case, to creative marketing, everything is getting a bit commoditized because, new tools and AI and etc. And how do you think today, when you're building your marketing team, or for additional people that are listening, they're building their own creative marketing team, how would you think about it today if you need to build your creative marketing team from scratch? What positions do you think are the most relevant? What is the personality of the people there with the world that is basically changing?
Mhm. I mean, when it comes to AI and it's a tool. It's a digital tool. We always work with digital tools. I'm old enough to know that the graphic designers were working with on they were drawing stuff and on Picard tables, and then now then they had Adobe, and they had that. AI is also something like that, but now it's disruptive, right? Like in a sense that it's like wide. There are lots of content produced by it, etc., etc. It will come down to a point that what you are going to do with that tool matters most. So I would go, and I'm going for more artists, people who are very open-minded to tools, novelties, etc., and innovation. But also, I'm very lucky to have a team already like that, by the way. But
I can vouch for
who
that.
thank you, and who is also open to think strategically. Okay, I'm doing this. Again, Apple. I'm putting that Apple here, but why? What this Apple will do? Because we are creating with it's not okay. Creative for UA, it's not unconditional love. Let's say it's very conditional. You need to know your parameters. You need to know what works. You need to know your patterns of performance, like the elements that are performing on a consistent basis. So you can tag, you can track, you can do whatever you like, you can remember them, or however you do it, but you need to know what works, and you need to so only a creative strategist can do that. So they can call themselves artists, creative strategists, marketing artists, it doesn't matter, but they need to have this both, like skill set, open for innovation tools and upscaling like that, and also a talent for creative strategy.
What would you say to the people that are now afraiding a bit, because of all of the new tools and AI, to being kind of replaced, especially, positions that are more on the content generation side that, see some stuff that say, okay, it's coming for me. What would you say for them?
I think, referring to my previous answer, like this is a tool. An algorithm, it's faster. So we need more content. We are producing more anyway. So I wouldn't really think that, like these tools will be replacement of human mind. Like creative strategy still comes from us. And I think it's just like for efficiency and productivity and boosting creativity rather than replacement on any workforce.
So you see it as an enhancer, an enhancement to the process?
Absolutely. An empowerment for the team, a tool for the team like any other tool.
Amazing. But you would recommend at the end for them to use it, not to fear from it will come to us, just to,
just an example. Would you imagine when, like after, when Adobe happened, like when they started to use their program, like, do you imagine refraining from it? Like how these people would be in the market, like, yeah.
So it's kind of, it's very interesting. Yeah, because it's a very hot topic, in everything. Also, it's not regarding content, also engineers. Will I be replaced? I think positions will be replaced, will be disrupted. And, you must use it, you must adopt it, you must utilize it, and you must empower your current offers, efforts with it. We see it also internally at SET as an enhancer that is multiplier to the number of efforts that you can run at the same time. So also in our engineering team, in the R&D, and basically everything we do, we just think about how to build the team properly and most efficiently with the new usage of these tools. Because now you can build stuff different. You can scale them, like you said. Once you have the idea, you still need the creative mind.
Absolutely.
And
you still need to do the hard work, and then yes, you can scale it. You can multiply it. I think the question is like, again, like when you can tell the same story in 100,000 different ways, how you are going to still unmistakably you? Like that's the question that we are facing right now, and it's still hard work. There's no shortcut.
Yeah,
there's no shortcut. There's not a magic button of like creative performance. That doesn't work like that.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no, it's maybe let's speak about new games. Putting aside Zynga, but as you know, the world of games, you have tons of games that are being launched every second now that we speak.
Yeah.
And one part that is very interesting is when do you start to do marketing? How many creatives do you need in order to, to test if the campaigns are working well, if the game worth continuing with,
Mm.
how do you view the creative marketing efforts when you have a new game in the market?
Mhm.
What do you do?
Yeah, I would start with I don't know, like 4 or 5 core concepts, but then I would kind of make sure that they are wherever whichever platform you are testing first, you are, like soft launching and then stuff like that.
Mhm.
I would make it platform specific in terms of lengths, in terms of preferable formats and stuff like that. So you might have like 5 maybe core ideas, but then have variants of these to make sure that you are giving the right medicine to the right patient, basically.
And if we compare soft launch to like launched game, in a strong BAU and spending a lot of money, uh, do you think that we should go less risky during the soft launch in terms of creative direction? Like you said, you have these 5 core ideas. Do you think they should be more innovative? Let's find our own hero that might be very different from I have a match 3, so very different from another match 3. Or do you think it's also a time like in BAU that you're all of the time trying to find this new concept? Do you think that during soft launch is also the right time to explore a lot of new core ideas, or going more safe?
I would go more true to the game. That's the product. So, and also your product team needs you for proper data. Like they need
Mm,
to read that properly. They need to understand. So you wouldn't like to mess up their KPIs because you have this beautiful idea of making this amazing creative. No, you are at service to your team to make sure that these core concepts are really giving the basic
of the
of
game.
this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
experience
yeah,
and
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Interesting. And how you have one very unique also approach in the working with the game teams from the creative marketing. How do you see this work between the creative marketing team to the product teams and the monetization teams?
Mhm. We are actually working very closely, and this is really I think moving us forward in the sense of, because again, shared goals, shared KPIs makes us
Ah, wow. Also with the product team.
yes,
Wow.
yes, these are all shared. With product teams, we are working very, very closely. We understand their needs, but also we share our insights with them,
Mm,
our learnings with them. So it's kind of like a mutual understanding of what works in both sides of the funnel. Because obviously from the creative, the audience is acting in a certain manner in the game, and we need to also understand that from them. So yeah, we are working very, very closely with them.
oh, amazing. And
Yeah.
how do you view testing kind of product, mostly around maybe mini games and new features that you want to develop, theses before you start the development in the creative marketing efforts? For example, to simplify it, I have a new idea of a mini game.
Hmm.
Before developing it, I want to see how the user interact with it. We can do a playable ad out of it. We can do a video ad out of it.
Hmm.
How do you view this type of insights that can come from the creative marketing to the product team?
I think they should definitely have this point of data, but they need to also understand that what works in the game might not necessarily work in marketing,
Oh my God.
and vice
This.
versa. So they need to take these results that are like, these are very limited creative tests. They need to read it with a pinch of salt, but still it's a guidance.
Mm,
So if you compare, for example, 4 different mini games and one is outstanding out of the rest of the, batch, I would look into this, but I wouldn't necessarily, take it as, oh, this will work amazingly in the game. Also, this mini game needs to be relevant
Mm.
to the game, to the mechanic, to the core audience. There are so many different things when it comes to understanding these things.
Wow, amazing. Zeynep, as a last question, I would love for you to say what are your biggest recommendation to two type of people. One is creative marketing leaders. We can start
Okay.
with that in the,
Yes.
of course, mobile games industry. And afterwards for entrepreneurs, because you're so inspiring for them as well. But let's start maybe, what are your biggest really recommendations to new creative marketing leaders in the mobile gaming space?
I would say, again, like I will repeat myself maybe, but I would suggest them to do the hard work and to really understand their product, and to not only in terms of features and functionality, but also on the consumer insight side, like why this product talks to that audience, what it gives to that audience, why they are playing, what's their motivation, what's their emotions. So acting a bit more like a strategist. I'm coming from that. That's why, like when you are, when you are a doctor, you only see patients, right? Like it's just like I have this bias as well. Like, but this is how kind of I scale in my own career. Like also my teams are thriving. So that's why I would suggest that.
Oh, amazing.
And for the entrepreneurs, I think times are changing all the time. So when I was an entrepreneur, like a couple of decades ago, when I started,
2 years ago, when you were 21, 2 years ago,
when I started, it was slightly different. But now I think it's easier to start, but harder to stay alive.
Wow, amazing.
So build up, step by step. Don't try to become like, I don't know. It's funny enough, I was, we are calling ourselves CEO or, like whatever. Now I'm laughing at this. Like, it's just like start, like very humbly build up, and make sure that you hire the right people. You hire the right people all the time. And but you are as strong as your team. Don't ever forget that.
Wow, this is very strong. Yeah, it's all about the people. I think, it's something that my father used to tell me all of the time. It's all about the people. It's all about the people. And I think I learned it and I knew it, but I think I completely understood it not a long time ago. I think approximately 6 to 8 months ago, I truly understand now that the only way for a consistent success to consistently win the market is when you have the right people, you let them do what they do.
Absolutely.
And you just kind of focusing them, moving them a degree here, a degree there. And it's an amazing, it's an amazing thing to say it and to think, but to act like that when it's all about the people and to hire really the right people, it's a different thing, because it's very easy to say. And I remember that you told me back then about it as well. So yeah, I can say that I can vouch that for me, it's also a big understanding. It's something that I also learned from you, which is just an amazing advice. So amazing. Zeynep, I would love to say personally a big thank you for being here. I believe that your insights here will be basically relevant for all of the marketing people, UA, creative, product teams, monetization, basically everyone in the gaming industry. I don't know if you know how impactful it was, and it was really amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Super happy
Thank you
to
for
have
having me.
Of course.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeynep.